So what's going on, everyone? Today we're going to talk about Bitcoin Cash, provide an update as to what the market has done and where we think it's going to go forward, so that we can be in position to capitalize from the price move, whether it's high or low. It really doesn't matter as long as we're in position to capitalize off of the move. If you guys want to learn more, you guys click on the right video, because this is what we do here on this particular channel. We just simply come through and drop predictions as to where we think price is headed, and then we'll come back, evaluate what happened to the market versus what we thought price was going to do, and you guys can see for proof for yourself. So welcome everyone to the channel. If you're new, as always, make sure you guys hit that like, share, and subscribe for more of my videos and content. You'll begin to see that there is a way to kind of predict with a high sense of dependability that the market is going to go a certain direction once you figure out what everybody else is trying to do. And that's all we do here. We just try to place a narrative or a story behind what's actually going on behind the chart. So if you guys want to learn more, like I said, just continue to watch the videos here, and if you appreciate it, just hit that support, like the video, share the video, and also subscribe here for more of my content. All right, so now let's go ahead and talk about Bitcoin Cash. Price prediction is already right here on the chart. You guys can see that it was produced right here on the 2nd of November, or maybe the 3rd of November. And we were anticipating that Bitcoin Cash, even at that time, was due to go lower. And what do you know, maybe 3 days into the prediction, the market in Bitcoin Cash came down all the way to, again, just another example, to the spot location that we said price was trying to aim for. And right there was the low. That was the bottom. How do we know that? How do we predict that Bitcoin on November 3rd was going to fall 8.25% before the market even went down? Because the chart already gave us hints and clues and breadcrumbs as to where price is going to go. Don't let people make this thing difficult, because it is not. So right there, profit 8.28%. Market in Bitcoin Cash ran up a couple of days later, all the way back up here to our sell pocket that we created as well. Isn't that crazy? How do we able to know that the market in Bitcoin Cash could top out right there? Once you begin to see where I can anticipate increased buying and or selling to occur, then that tells you where you need to get up off the ship before the ship begins to sink. So imagine you came and you saw this video in Bitcoin Cash on November the 3rd, right? And we was telling you that we might see buyers enter the market in Bitcoin Cash down here around $460 to $465, right? And you said, all right, cool, I'm going to buy some Bitcoin Cash right here. That's fine. That's cool. Like, you already did one side of what you needed to do. The next side is figuring out, okay, where do I need to get up off this train ride? Where do I want to take profit? Just like we can determine where buyers are, we can also see where sellers are. Look at this. So you would have said, I'm going to buy Bitcoin Cash down here, and I'm going to sell it when it runs up there to 530%. I mean, 530%, excuse me, $531. I'm going to sell it right there. That's how you're able to maintain profit. See that? What's that? 15.67% there? It's not hard. It's not difficult. Because if you didn't know when to get up off the train in Bitcoin Cash, your position has now dwindled to like 4.68% now from where the current price is. So again, that's how you're able to read the market. All right, so let's go ahead and clean this up. We're going to get rid of that price prediction now for Bitcoin Cash. That is done and over. And as always, the first thing we do is clean up areas to where these pockets are no longer viable. So let's get rid of this buy pocket here and this one there. Now I'm going to zoom out, and you guys can see the story that is being told in Bitcoin Cash. It is a story to where sellers are the ones writing the script. They're the one that's winning. They're the one that's moving this crypto down lower and lower and lower. I mean, even this downtrend line is still holding its weight. The buyers cannot even break this downtrend line higher yet. So naturally, we're going to fall under the inclination that the price in Bitcoin Cash is going to continue to go lower. That's just a general broad view right now. Okay. So that is our current sentiment, is that the market is being controlled by sellers, period. The only way that we would change that thinking would be if price breaks that downtrend line, for one, and then two, if we continually see buying coming in down here, meaning the market is not going no lower. That's the only thing that can stop price from going up. Stop the price from going down is people buying. That's it. Nothing else can restrict price from going any lower. You got to have people to come in and buy it up. So maybe that might be the process that is currently ongoing in Bitcoin Cash at these two buy pockets. All right. So now let's look at this. We are going to add a new sell pocket for Bitcoin Cash. We got a new area now that we can see sellers coming into the market for Bitcoin Cash. There might be another one right down here. We could break it down on an hourly chart to see that's really a pretty strong area there. Okay, so now let's look at this on the longer term time frame. Oh, I'm sorry, that's on 11-hour chart. Let's put this back on the daily. That's my bad. So this is the daily chart. Okay, so now what happened yesterday? Look at that. Or the last printed price bar. Market was down 6%. After we've seen these buyers attempt to hold price at this sell pocket, these 3 days, the buyers were trying to break through this pocket. And they did it, or they tried in 3 days. And now we got the answer that they were not successful. The buyers didn't win. They lost those 3 rounds because the sellers really pushed down the price in Bitcoin Cash on this last printed bar. So now our focus needs to switch to where we're going to start paying attention to see if these buyers are now going to approach, because down here we can see that the buyers did come into the market and supported the price. So we're almost there now in Bitcoin Cash to see this happen again. So that's what we're going to pay attention to. All right, so now let's look at this on the 2. Unfortunately, if you're a buyer, you don't want to see this price bar, but it's here. That's scary if you're a buyer. You don't want to see these price bars because it resembles that you attempted to push the price in Bitcoin Cash higher, and then you got overwhelmed or overpowered by sellers, and they pushed you all the way back down to the bottom of the price bar. That's weakness. Yes, weakness. Now, all is not lost because, like I said, we got these 2 pockets here that we might get an influx of people willing to buy Bitcoin Cash, and that will stop the market from going lower. Darn, look at this one too. This is on a 3-2. Like, this is a shame. Consecutively, we can see the same price bar. Here it is on the 3. There it is on the 2. Back to back. What about on the 4? You can see it a little bit on the 4. Even though this price bar isn't printed, we still got 2 days left, but it kind of looks like the 3-day and the 2-day time frames. Bitcoin Cash on the 5. Dog. Every time frame we switch to, we're getting the same type of price bar. It just simply tells us the further out in time we go, the market looks more weak. That's all. That's it. So when we look at this on the 5, we can kind of say, if this market in the next 2 days closes at the bottom of this bar, then we're going to look for price to come and test. Hold on right quick. We're going to look for the market to come and test this buy pocket again, and definitely that next one. It might even come all the way down to 425 to 400 bucks. The further out in time we see weakness. Okay, so we got it on the 5 right now, but we're not going to be dependent on it because we still got 2 days, and that price bar can definitely change. Here it is on the weekly chart. Same thing on the weekly too. Currently it is weak, but we have to give the market time to allow it to do what it needs to do And then at the conclusion of this weekly price bar in 2 days, see how this price bar prints, because it may close all the way up here at the high of the bar. That will resemble buyers coming to the market. Okay, so we got to kind of be patient and wait to see how it prints. But right now, there's no doubt that this market is being controlled by sellers. All right, so now look at this on the 5. We want to see if the market is being bought up yet. Okay, so yeah, like I said, we could create that area right there as a sell pocket in Bitcoin. My focus on the hourly chart is down here. I want to see if we're getting buyers. So I want to see. So let's go ahead and look at this on a different time frame, maybe on the 3. So here it is on the 3. Right now we got a little hint of people trying to come in and buy Bitcoin Cash. Let's look at this on the 1. Yeah, right here you guys can see it, that this is where the buyers are ultimately trying to come into the market. I'm not convinced yet though, but I can see small hints that people are trying to come in and support this cryptocurrency right now. Here it is on the 330-minute price bar. Yeah, I'm still not convinced yet. So I think the market may try to come back down to this area and test it again, or depending on that weekly chart, 2 days, we might definitely see this market run all the way down to like 440 or so. Okay. See, the one thing that you can tell is when you see volume, volume represents energy. And when you put a whole lot of energy behind something, you would expect to get equal or greater that result, right? You're looking for at least some type of reward from the exertion that you put into whatever you're trying to accomplish, right? So when you look at these bars, right? Look at this bar right here, right? You're expecting to get a pretty good reward for you buying Bitcoin Cash on this 90-minute bar, right? And you're trying to tell me with all that volume, the market in Bitcoin Cash only ran up this far? Look at that. It didn't even get anything out from all of that volume. Look at that. That was it. Okay. Then the same thing occurred on this volume bar right here. The buyers really attempted to try to move the market up, and they failed. The price is still going down. It's really that simple and easy. So right now, we're going to follow under the auspice that this market is still being won by sellers. Okay. So back on the daily, we are going to now anticipate Bitcoin Cash going down. From all of the information we've seen, we suspect that there's a higher chance for price to continue to go this direction than to go up. Okay. So what we're going to do now, just like we targeted on our last prediction, we're going to do the same thing here. We are going to target, let me bring that back because I want you all to know that we did see that as a legitimate area that people are trying to buy Bitcoin Cash now. But we're going to try to target this first pocket again. Okay, this first one. We already got proof that people were there buying. So price comes back down, these same people may buy again, which would be great. At the bottom of that pocket, it will give us what? 4.5%. Okay. Then we're going to target, since we notice on the long-term charts, i.e. the dailies, we're going to target this next buy pocket at 453, which is 5.82%, all the way down here to the bottom of $437, which is around 9% move to the downside. And let's just, for the third, top out this next buy pocket, which is around 12.36%. And that's it. We'll see what the market does in Bitcoin Cash. Now it's your turn. Make sure you maintain profit, and as always, trade different.